But you see, it shows all the windows. So we've got the Chrome window, you got that. It's just, you can do whatever you want with it. It's pretty amazing software. You can change all the levels, which is what I really like, because there's nothing worse than going through a video, not being able to change your levels, and then you've lost all your audio, it's washed out, it's just not good. So you can see I'm talking, it's bouncing up and down like that. Pretty cool stuff. To start recording, all you do, simply hit start recording, and once you do, it'll record, and when you hit stop recording, it'll stop and the file will go straight to your designated path. So if you enjoyed the video, please drop it a like and subscribe. Please let me know what you think of OBS and how it worked out for you. If you need any tutorials on how to use its advanced features like live streaming, or better recording tutorial like how to change all the scenes and stuff, more than happy to do an advanced OBS users tutorial. So drop that in the comments if that's what you want. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this. I love a good free software, especially when it's actually good, because companies like Fraps are making stuff worse than this. And I mean, honestly, encountered no problems with this. Like, captures games like there's no tomorrow. And yeah, so drop a like, subscribe. Any questions, leave it in the comments, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Go for it. Slow-mo rap beat. This video is sponsored by Mick. Well done. Are you enjoying that? That's good.
Hello and welcome. In this 14-day beginner challenge, you're going to start your app journey off with a bang. You're going to learn how apps are made and how they end up on the App Store. You're going to get familiar with Xcode and how to start your very own app project. You're going to learn how to build user interfaces with Swift UI. And you're going to learn Swift programming basics so that you can read and write simple Swift code. Now in the next 14 lessons, you're going to gain all of these new skills, and you're going to have built your very own app that you can install on your device and show all of your friends and family what you've done. More importantly than that, however, you will be extremely confident and excited to continue growing your app development skills beyond what we've covered here. This really could be the start of something new for you. Now, just in case you're new around here, my name is Chris and welcome to Code with Chris, the place to be if you want to learn how to make an app. We've taught thousands of people with no coding experience how to code and how to make apps, and I'm sure that we can do the same thing for you. On that note, why are you here learning app development? Let me know by leaving a quick comment below. And on your way down there, if you wouldn't mind, please give this video a quick thumbs up. It really helps the video out, and I appreciate that so much. Okay, so if you're ready, let's roll up our sleeves and get started. I'm going to walk through this diagram, and then after I'll tell you where to get all of the pieces. It all starts with the Xcode IDE. Now IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment, which is a term for the application and all of the tools a developer uses to build something. For the rest of this course, we'll simply call it Xcode. This is where we build our app by writing Swift code, building the user interface, or UI for short, and connecting it with all of our data. Swift is the programming language we use to express our logic and to tell the system what we want to do. We can even build the UI through Swift code, as you'll soon see. Now, Swift UI is a UI framework that makes it easy for us to rapidly build apps for all of Apple's platforms. A nice benefit of learning Xcode, Swift, and Swift UI is that they're the same skills and tools used to build all apps for all of Apple's platforms, including iOS, iPadOS, tvOS, watchOS, and macOS. And in some cases, your app will be able to work on multiple platforms without much changes at all. Now, once your app is built, you can distribute it with Apple's App Store. This is done by joining the Apple Developer Program, which requires an annual enrollment fee. Once you're enrolled, you get access to multiple benefits, including the App Store Connect portal, Test Flight, and the Provisioning portal. There are some more benefits, including access to beta software and support from Apple engineers, and I'll provide a link to the full list below. The Provisioning portal gives you access to tools for identifying and code signing your app. It's like putting your signature on the app so that Apple can identify who built it. And this is important for the safety of the end users downloading your app, and it's also important for you because it stops malicious coders from pretending to be you. Once your app is in a testable state, TestFlight allows you to invite people to download and beta test your app. They'll be able to send feedback and bug reports directly to you through the TestFlight program. Use TestFlight to ensure that your app is as polished as it can be before launch. And finally, App Store Connect is where you'll create the app listing for your app, including all of the metadata and screenshots. If your app has in-app purchases, this is also where you would configure them. Once your app is tested and the listing is ready, you can upload the app from Xcode to App Store Connect. From there, the certification team at Apple will review your app to ensure that it meets the App Store quality guidelines. This takes a couple of days, and don't worry if you fail because you can fix whatever they point out and resubmit it for review. If everything looks good, they'll approve the app and your app will be live. Congratulations! Alright, so where can you get these different pieces of the Apple developer ecosystem? You can download Xcode for free from the Mac App Store. I'll provide a link below. You don't need to get Swift or SwiftUI. Those just come with Xcode. As for the Apple Developer Program, I'll provide a link to the enrollment page below. I want to mention that joining the Apple Developer Program is completely optional. If your goal isn't to distribute apps into the App Store, don't join it. You'll still be able to learn how to build apps for yourself. So that's the Apple Developer Ecosystem. It's the process that I'll be taking you through if you continue on with this app journey. Now, by the end of this learning path, you'll be building your own apps using all of these tools that we've covered, even if you don't have any coding experience right now. I promise you, you'll be surprised at what you can do by the end of this challenge. Now, I highly recommend that you go over to codewithchris.com and create an account. You can take the same course and get all of the supplemental material and get access to all of the quizzes and exercises to make your learning truly effective. In fact, if you go and do that right now, there is a quiz that you can take to reinforce what you've learned here today. In the next lesson, we're going to dive right into Xcode, and if you don't want to miss it, make sure you're subscribed to the channel by hitting that subscribe button below and turn on bell notifications so that you get notified. All right, I'll see you in the next lesson. Hello and welcome. In this Xcode tutorial, you're going to get familiar with the development environment that you'll be building apps in. I'll show you where to download Xcode and how to start a new app project. And then we're going to go through the major areas of Xcode and then what each of the files in your app project is for. And then finally, we'll wrap up the lesson with some quick tips on how to navigate around in Xcode. All right, with that said, let's dive in. Let's start by talking about where to get Xcode. It's free, so you don't need to pay for it. Just launch the Mac App Store on your computer and then search for Xcode. You're going to get to a page like this in the search results. Click into it, and you're going to be able to download it for free. So I've already got it downloaded, so that's why it says update here. I want you to just ignore the warning here. It's actually a very large app with a lot of different features. It's understandable that there are a few bugs, and if you look at the reviews, there are people complaining about other things unrelated to the app. They're complaining about the way Apple is running their business and so on and so forth, and some of these are very, very old. Okay, I want you to take note of this important information. Click on this just to make sure what the requirements are to install Xcode, and also double check that you have enough free hard drive space. Now, in my experience, it actually takes more hard drive space over time than what it says here. So if you have something like 12 gigs free, it might not let you install this because during the installation process, it actually takes up more space, and then I think it gets rid of a bunch of files and it stops at this size. However, over time, when you download additional developer components and additional iOS simulators, this can actually get even higher. So make sure you have sufficient hard drive space. All right, so if for some reason you can't get access to the Mac App Store, you can also visit the official Xcode page on the Apple developer site. So the URL is developer.apple.com/Xcode. And you can immediately click on the resources link up here, and then you'll be taken to a page where you can download Xcode here. It just takes you to the Mac App Store actually. You can also download beta versions of Xcode. Now, I wouldn't recommend this because oftentimes it actually is pretty buggy, their beta software, So I would recommend to stick with the official releases. If for some reason you want to download an older version of Xcode, you can scroll down here and you can click this link here. Now, just a note, in order to download beta versions of Apple software, you need to be enrolled in their Apple Developer Program, which we talked about in the previous lesson. To download older versions of Xcode, I don't think you need to be enrolled in that program. I think you just need a free Apple ID. And lastly, if you are on a PC or you're running Windows, check the resources in the beginning of the course for options for you. Alright, so now take the opportunity to download and install Xcode if you haven't already, and then launch it for the first time. During your first launch, it's going to ask you for your administrative password to install additional development components. You're going to want to do this, so go ahead and enter in your admin password. After you've done that,